So for this next tutorial, we're going to be covering the Servant song, which is an old song that I'm actually personally and creatively trying to give a newer spin. Not changing the melody or anything, but just changing the instrumental side of things. Most churches, or at least my church, does not have an organ or a full choir, and that is apparently the only versions I can find online. So I'm excited to have it so that I'm recording a little bit on my computer just so that my team has something to practice with, and have something that sounds a little bit more contemporary. So I have it recorded and I'm going to play it, but I'm going to show you a very simple piece that I've kind of invented for the song on the electric guitar as interlude. It sort of sounds like this. So I'm going to walk you through on what that sounds like, but let me show you what it sounds like in the actual recording, just to give you an idea. Hopefully you can kind of hear it. So you won't play anything over the verses, just let that happen more acoustically, or just the piano, whatever we decide to do that week. So that's the extent of it. I don't know if you could necessarily hear the volume of my computer very well just there for the recording. But the trick is to catch the very last syllable of the last word of each verse, and that's when you start with the first note. So it'll be like, walk the mile and bear the load. So that's the idea. So to walk you through kind of the steps of what that actual lead is, I recommend either using your middle finger or your index finger. So you find your it's all on mostly on the B string, the second string, and you start on the 3rd fret. And then you go up to the 5th fret, and then the 7th fret. And at this point, you definitely want to have your middle finger on that note, because you want your index finger prepared to go to the E string, one higher from that, on the 5th fret. And then shift your middle finger so that you can place your middle finger on the 8th fret, and you'll hold that one, so it sounds like this. And that's the first half. Then the second half is starting from that same note again, strike it again. And if you know the song, that's actually just the melody line of sort of the first line and the last line of every verse. So giving you a little bit more an idea of not just the notes, but kind of how to play them. Some of them you're doing a slide, so like this one. So strike, slide, and then you hit that again. Or slide, probably there. So I do all individual notes there, and then the slides. So that's the whole gist of it. It makes more sense in a full mix, so you can kind of hear it, but it just catch that the last syllable of the last word in every verse, and then just let those notes really sing. I would say in terms of the effects that you're shooting for, in case you can't hear my electric guitar all that well, I'm doing during nighttime with the kiddo sleeping. I've got a bit of overdrive in there. Some is some reverb, but not way too like washy or wet, but maybe a little wet. And then I would fit in a little bit of a quarter note delay. You can kind of hear. So that's kind of what I built in there, but it's not super critical. But yeah, that's the whole gist of it. Enjoy.